World of Warcraft, bad. Diablo 4, bad. Pretty much anything, honestly, Blizzard does, just big bad.
Hey folks, this is Kalani. The Dragonflight story is taking a huge leap forward with the release of patch 10.2 Guardians of the Dream.
Does anyone care about the Dragonflight story though? Does it matter if it's taking a huge leap forward when no one cares?
Which goes live on November 7th. We have so much new content coming our way, including a brand new zone in the Emerald Dream with 3 public events to take part in and a new faction to befriend and earn renown with.
Wow.
Season 3 of Dragonflight introduces a new 9-boss raid with a special legendary axe, a whole new rotation of dungeons for Mythic plus Keystones, PvP updates, and adjustments to how the gear upgrading system works. Then there are Dragon...
These adjustments, as much as I understand, are the bad type of adjustment, where if World of Warcraft is already devaluing everything you do, not even every year, but every, 2 months by catch-up mechanics, now they're gonna do it even worse, okay? Now your mythic gear rating pieces, if I correctly understand this, are gonna be weaker than the basic green stuff you can find from mobs when a new catch-up mechanic is released. It's not gonna be pretty.
Riding updates, class reworks, balance and tuning changes, and more. So let's go through everything coming in patch 10.2 Guardians of the Dream.
New zone.
We're finally heading into the Emerald Dream. The new zone is a pocket of the dream that surrounds the blossoming world tree of Yggdrasil. It's almost time for the world tree to cross over into the mortal realm, and we need to ensure it stays safe from the invading forces.
1. Don't care. 2. This is, by the way, a huge problem with modern World of Warcraft, okay? Previously, the zones were made that you cared about them. Now, Blizzard does it like this. Even if they fail a zone, who cares? They're just gonna release a new zone that everyone's gonna go to and never enter the old zone again anyway in like 2 weeks. So who honestly cares if they fail the zone? No zones feel special because every time you get a zone, in a week you're just gonna move on to the next zone and probably never even go in the previous zone. It's not only devaluing your gear, it's devaluing everything that you have achieved, okay? It's not an additive to the zone. They're not making the zone more special, more interesting. They're not upgrading things that worked well in the zone. No, they're just adding a new complete zone. And then you're supposed to forget about the old zone. I think this is a serious problem that, retail is facing in World of Warcraft.
Of Farak and the Druids of the Flame. They don't just want to burn another world tree down, they want to corrupt it, twist it, and use it for their own machinations. Who knows what the primal incarnate of fire could achieve with that kind of power? We'll need to rally our forces, push back Farak's army, and secure the heart of Yggdrasil. We're also going to have a new world boss to take on. You can find Orastar, the Hibernator, in the Emerald Dream Zone, and the Furbolg Wild God is not happy that his usual sleep schedule has been upended. If you can survive his sleep-deprived onslaught, you'll earn a chance.
Furbolg Wild God. But of course, the lore just keeps getting more dense, but dense with things that I don't like and no one cares about. That's also a problem, by the way.
And some shiny new gear rewards. There are 3 new public events to take part in and they feed into each other. It starts with the Super Bloom event. Escort a wandering ancient around the perimeter of the tree, fending off enemies and helping to promote growth in the area. The more you contribute, the better the resulting bloom will be, so you'll want everyone to pitch in to maximize your rewards. Okay. Completing the Super Bloom will activate the Emerald Frenzy event, where one section of the dream goes into overdrive, spawning wave after wave of frenzied fauna and flora. The more you kill, the more materials and currencies you will get, so it's a big old-style farming event. These 2 events provide you with seeds and emerald dewdrops. You can plant the seeds in special patches of soil to start an emerald bounty event. Players can then contribute resources, including dewdrops, to increase the size of an emerald bounty, which will result in better better rewards. There will also be plenty of rares to hunt down in the zone, which can reward you with various goodies including gear, seeds for the Emerald Bounty, and other materials important for your progress in the zone.
Okay.
A new zone
didn't seem that great, but okay. I mean, it's events, it's stuff to do, so people are gonna be happy. At least Blizzard doesn't fail with the events. Well, they do fail with events, but hey, at least they're doable for some time, and then you don't care about the events even if you miss out on them. So, technically events, not great, but still kind of a win, honestly.
Zone also brings us a new faction to earn favor with. The Dream Wardens are the resident protectors of the Dream. They'll need our help to fight back against the invading forces and return the Dream to its once tranquil state. Progressing through the Renown track will unlock new ways to interact with the Emerald Dream Zone, like getting different seeds or special abilities for the public event. There are various gear rewards, you can earn crests and flight stones, as well as plenty of cosmetics like mounts, dragon riding customizations, and pets.
Yeah, I also dislike this. This is just a continuation of new zone unlocks and everything you do becomes devalued to a degree. Now, admittedly, this is still farmable for transmog and whatnot, but all in all, it's like, okay, a new zone comes, a new reputation vendor, new rewards that no one cares about, and guess what? These rewards are probably also time-gated, exactly, so, you know, have fun with that.
It's not just story content.
And by the way, World of Warcraft has some of the worst time gating in any game possible. Because you know how World of Warcraft is time gated? It's not just time gated with a time gate. It is time gated, and in reality, there's always a catch-up mechanic. So, technically, World of Warcraft actually punishes you for actively playing the game because you're gonna spend 10 hours trying to unlock this certain level of renown, but if you didn't play the game for a week, came back, you could probably unlock all of that renown that took you days to farm in an hour or two. Yeah. That's also a huge problem, obviously, when the game actively punishes you for playing it because the catch-up mechanics are just so ludicrous. And by the way, the catch-up mechanics are not necessarily that bad, honestly, in a lot of situations. It's just the way that World of Warcraft does everything else has made catch-up mechanics just bad.
Patch 10.2 brings us into Season 3 of Dragonflight with all new content and rewards, starting with a new 9-boss raid, Amir Drasil, the Dream's Hope. The Primal Incarnate of Fire, Farak, seeks to corrupt the heart of this new world tree and claim its power for himself. We'll need to push through various defenses of the Dream and conquer Farak's invading fiery forces to clear a way to the Primal Incarnate himself. Stopping Farak is the only way to prevent him from bathing the world in flames.
Okay.
There's another legendary weapon waiting at the end of this raid. If you can take down the Primal Incarnate, you may just walk away with his legendary two-handed axe, Firelath the Dream Render. That's going to...
Didn't he, like, make this 2 minutes ago in the storyline? So why is it exactly legendary? Also, he dragged it like a piece of junk across the floor right when it was made. I mean... it doesn't feel that legendary of an item, not gonna lie.
To be a fantastic addition to any strength user's weapon collection. As for the Mythic Plus system, Season 3 will bring a whole new rotation of dungeons to explore. We'll be delving back into Waycrest Manor, Atal Dazar, Darkheart Thicket, Blackrook Hold, the Throne of the Tides, and the Everbloom dungeons. The two wings of the Dawn of the Infinite.
Ah, yes. If you're a returning player to World of Warcraft, you're probably so excited for Atal Dazar. All of these places probably have 200 trash mobs and it's really boring. Yeah, dude. The new dungeons, they look better. That is for sure, right? But also when you make the dungeons all feel like... I mean, the World of Warcraft currently retail just feels like... artist vomit, okay? Everything's stylized. Everywhere there's a fence. Nothing feels special no longer. In the world, you're just gonna come across these random things that are, like, so big, so wow. But none of them feel so big, so wow, because guess what? there's one more of those things well, not there's a similar big wow thing, like 5 seconds in that way. Man, they really have failed hard in my opinion, also in the world design, because they have made everything so full of everything, okay? There's not, it's just sad. Nothing feels special when everything is this redundantly special.
Infinite Mega Dungeon also joined the roster to give us 8 different Mythic Plus dungeons to master. We also have updates for the new PvP season. PvP gear and progression will now use the Flight Stones and Crests upgrading system, so that's in line with every other endgame content type. There's also a new brawl called Battle...
And PvP is still gonna be bad, because Blizzard has not balanced a single game since release. Their most balanced game is StarCraft Brood War. And there they didn't actually even balance it. They completely botched that thing up. They just listened to community when the community said, hey, listen, we're going to balance the game through map design. And that's going to be it, okay, Chief? You just don't touch the game at all. And they didn't. And that's why Brood War is the most balanced game that Blizzard has, because Blizzard didn't balance it. World of Warcraft? Congratulations, some spec has just probably got buffed by 300% damage for no reason while it was already the best spec. Why? Because something on the spreadsheet that it gets balanced by got changed, because it wasn't in line with something that shouldn't even be in line with.
Battleground Blitz. It's a solo queue battleground brawl with smaller teams and a faster pace. And of course, a new season brings us all new tier sets and bonuses to change up how your class or spec works, provide additional effects to certain talents or passives, and gives you several new awesome transmog sets to collect. A very important...
That one honestly looks pretty lit, not gonna lie. This one looks kinda cool. This one also looks not bad. This one's the coolest though. That's a shaman, I think.
Transmog sets to collect. A very important change regarding tier sets is that the Revival Catalyst timeline has been adjusted quite dramatically. The Season 3 Catalyst will
The what and the what now?
Be available in the very first week, giving you faster access to those important tier set pieces and bonuses. The Season Mastery achievement will also be returning, giving you access to a heroic item level tier piece of your choice for completing a major milestone achievement. You can clear the new raid on heroic mode, get up to 2000 Mythic Plus score, or reach Challenger 2 or above in rated PvP. In addition to that, the last boss of the Emir Drasil raid will also drop Omni tokens just like Sarkareth did in Season 2. With these 3 options combined, everyone will have more options for obtaining their new tier set in Season 3. Overall gear progression...
yes. This is... I don't know, which... How many times in a row have they made gear progression easier to achieve now? At this rate, just why not give the new perfect set to everyone as soon as they log in, honestly, at this point. Gear progression is supposed to be hard. It's supposed to be the rewarding, but if a new tier of gear needs to be released every, like, I don't know, 2 or 3 weeks in World of Warcraft, then I guess you need gear to be obtainable in like 5 seconds, otherwise people are going to be pissed that they can't get the gear. How about just making it longer to get gear, but making the content better, Blizzard? That would, I think, solve a lot of problems.
Will be changing as well. The fragments for crests have been removed, so you only have to worry about collecting and using the actual crests now, and your crests will be moved to the currency tab, saving you precious bag space. The heroic and myth upgrade tracks have been extended to allow you to upgrade your gear even further than before, and will have the option to trade up crests after you reach an appropriate item level. This cracks open the overall gearing potential of every player, and as a bonus quality of life addition, if you have a cap on crests, completing additional content of the same level will automatically reward the next tier down of crests, so you can focus on playing the game. And then the Great Vault will also see some
next tier down of crests? I'm sorry, but does that make next tier down of crests? Next tier down of what? What does that mean?
changes heading into the next season. You will only need 2, 4, and 7 boss kills to fill up the raid reward row, and then the dungeon row is becoming more accessible, with heroic dungeon, mythic zero dungeon, and even time walking dungeon runs all counting towards the dungeon reward row. So getting some loot from your weekly vault will be easier than ever before.
Dude, if you're a new player, how are you even supposed to decide on what you're picking here? Specific dungeon? Dude, there's gonna be like 300 trillion dungeons, right? Random dungeon, Dragonflight, heroic dungeon, Dragonflight, and random time walking dungeon? What does that even mean?
Before. There are also plenty of dragon riding updates to look forward to. The Emerald Dream Zone will have new dragon glyphs for you to seek out and collect, and there are 3 new dragon riding talents to spend them on.
Ooh.
Second Wind allows you to generate 1 vigor on demand, and you can have up to 3 charges. Wind's Respite causes aerial halt to now allow you to hover momentarily, so you can plan your next move without falling out of the sky, and Swift Skimming lets you benefit from ground skimming while Thrill of the Skies is active, giving you even more vigor regeneration. We'll have a new
the hell is skimming?
Dragon riding Drake model, the Flourishing Whimsy Drake, which we'll obtain very early on in our Emerald Dream adventures. And of course, there are loads of new customization options to get your hands on for the new fair.
And by the way, really, you know what's my favorite part about dragon riding? Okay. It's the fact that in World of Warcraft lore, dragons are these prideful creatures that don't even, concern themselves with the problems of mortals most of the time. They don't care. And now they're pets. Now dragons are just pets. Yep, that's pretty much it. Yeah, remember the blue drakes that are supposed to be super smart and blah blah blah? Yeah, now feed him a fish time to time because he's a good boy. Yeah, that's good game design right there. I'm sure the lore has, I'm sure people are gonna take their mounts seriously the next time they say that the world's in danger.
Fairy Dragon, as well as the other Drake models we've collected so far. The Dragon Riding Cup events are also expanding to include other continents, with Outland, Northrend, Pandaria, and the Broken Isles Cups events joining the roster, so we'll be able to race on almost any continent while these events are active.
Ooh.
And there's even a new achievement coming in 10.2 that allows you to use the old style of flying and all of your old flying mounts in the Dragon Isles. By completing the Dragonflight Pathfinder achievement, you'll be able to choose which flying style you want to use to get around the Dragon Isles.
Isn't the dragon flying though just faster than the basic flying, which means everyone's always gonna pick the faster flying, no matter which style it is, honestly?
Patch 10.2 has several large class or specialization reworks as well. All 3 rogue specs will see significant changes to their talent trees with new passives and abilities to look forward to. Demon Hunters will also see large changes to their talent tree and how various spells and abilities interact with each other. And the last big rework is for Discipline Priest to make the spec more accessible and give it some shiny new tools. There are some big changes also coming for Druids, Monks, Shamans, and Demonology Warlocks, with smaller balance tuning changes for many other classes and specs as well. And then there are also new customization options for Blood Elves, new Moonkin Druid forms and appearances, user interface and quality of life updates, and so much more.
I can't wait until everything looks like a Christmas tree in this game forever. I just can't wait. The game already feels like a joke because everywhere, everything, everyone looks like a damn Christmas tree constantly, and it's just gonna get worse over time. I love it.
So much new content packed into this patch, there's something for everyone in Guardians of the Dream. But that's everything coming in patch 10.2, so that's it for
everything sounded bad, I'm not gonna lie.
This video. Thanks for watching, folks. Good luck and have fun, and as always,
that was World of Warcraft's original channel, by the way, but Kalani is just the creator who did it. I don't know how this worked. Anyway, sounded bad. Sounded I'm not returning. Yeah, every problem that this game still has, it still has. Surprising, I know, right? Anyway, this was Kuzzer Sid saying thanks for watching. Subscribe if you haven't already, and have a nice day. Bye-bye.